SAP Erp is enterprise resource planning software developed by the German company SAP SE. SAP Erp incorporates the key business functions of an organization. The latest version was made available in 2006. The most recent enhancement package for SAP Erp 6.0 was released in 2013. Overview: SAP Erp is part of the applications in the SAP Business Suite. It contains the following: SAP Erp Procure-to-Pay supports end-to-end procurement and logistics processes. It includes sourcing and contract management, operational procurement, inventory and warehouse management, invoice and payables. SAP Erp Plan-to-Product deals with the manufacturing process, from planning to monitoring and analysis. It includes production planning, manufacturing execution, inventory and warehouse management, product and project management, maintenance and quality management. SAP Erp Order-to-Cash helps customer-related processes, from selling products and services to dealing with warranty claims, service orders, and returns. It includes order and contract management, inventory and warehouse management, accounts receivable. SAP Erp Request to Service focuses on delivering a better customer experience. It includes service management, service parts management, service project management. SAP Erp Core Finance gives companies real-time insight into financial performance and regulatory compliance. It includes accounting and financial close management, accounting, travel management. SAP Erp Core Human Resources supports the recruitment, onboarding, and administration processes. It includes core human resources, time and attendance management, development. SAP Erp was built from modules comprising the former SAP A/3. SAP A/3 through version 4.6c consisted of various applications on top of SAP Basis, SAP's set of middleware programs and tools. When SAP A/3 Enterprise was launched in 2002, all applications were built on top of the SAP Web Application Server. Extension sets were used to deliver new features and keep the core as stable as possible. The Web Application Server contained all the capabilities of SAP Basis. As a result of marketing changes and changes in the industry, new versions of SAP have been released. The first edition of SAP Erp was launched in 2003 and bundled previously separate products, including SAP A/3 Enterprise, SAP Strategic Enterprise Management and extension sets. The SAP Web Application Server was wrapped into NetWeaver, which was also introduced in 2003. A complete architecture change took place with the introduction of SAP Erp Edition 2004. A/3 Enterprise was replaced with the introduction of Erp Central Component. The SAP Business Warehouse, SAP Strategic Enterprise Management and Internet Transaction Server were also merged into SAP ECC, allowing users to run them under one instance. Architectural changes were also made to support an enterprise service architecture to transition customers to a services-oriented architecture. SAP HANA, which is a combination of in-memory software and hardware, can improve data processing at extremely high speeds. Implementation: SAP Erp consists of several modules, including utilities for marketing and sales, field service, product design and development, production and inventory control, human resources, finance and accounting. SAP Erp collects and combines data from the separate modules to provide the company or organization with enterprise resource planning. Although there can be major benefits for customers of SAP Erp, the implementation and training costs are high. Many companies experience problems when implementing SAP Erp software, such as failing to specify their operation objectives, absence of a strong commitment or positive approach to change, failing to deal with organizational differences, failing to plan the change to SAP Erp properly, inadequate testing, inadequate training. All these factors can mean the difference between having a successful implementation of SAP Erp or an unsuccessful one. If SAP Erp is implemented correctly, an enterprise can go from its old calculations system to a fully integrated software package. Potential benefits include efficient business process, inventory reduction, and led time reduction. SAP ERP provides an integrated solution that incorporates the key business functions of an organization. An article in the IEE Transactional Engineering Management Journal reports an industrial case in which senior management successfully dealt with a troubled SAP S/3 implementation in an international fast-moving consumer goods company during 2001 and 2002. Deployment and maintenance costs. Effectively implemented SAP ERP systems can have cost benefits. Integration is the key in this process. Generally, a company's level of data integration is highest when the company uses one vendor to supply all of its modules. An out-of-box software package has some level of integration, but it depends on the expertise of the company to install the system and how the package allows the users to integrate the different modules. It is estimated that for a Fortune 500 company, software, hardware, and consulting costs can easily exceed $100 million. Large companies can also spend $50 million to $100 million on upgrades. Full implementation of all modules can take years, which also adds to the end price. Mid-sized companies are more likely to spend around $10 million to $20 million at most, and small companies are not likely to have the need for a fully integrated SAP ERP system unless they have the likelihood of becoming mid-sized, and then the same data applies as would a mid-sized company. Independent studies have shown that deployment and maintenance costs of a SAP solution can greatly vary depending on the organization. For example, some point out that because of the rigid model imposed by SAP tools, a lot of customization code to adapt to the business process may have to be developed and maintained. Some others pointed out that a return on investment could only be obtained when there was both a sufficient number of users and sufficient frequency of use. Deploying SAP itself can also involve a lot of time and resources. SAP Basis. After extensive developments in SAP, it is now divided into two subgroups stating Basis into one and Security into other. Previously Basis consultants used to work on both Basis as well as security issues. ERP Advantages and Disadvantages. Advantages allows easier global integration. Updates only need to be done once to be implemented company-wide, provides real-time information, reducing the possibility of redundancy errors, may create a more efficient work environment for employees. Vendors have past knowledge and expertise on how to best build and implement a system. User interface is completely customizable, allowing end users to dictate the operational structure of the product. Disadvantages. Locked into relationship by contract and manageability with vendor. A contract can hold a company to the vendor until it expires, and it can be unprofitable to switch vendors if switching costs are too high. Inflexibility. Vendor packages may not fit a company's business model well, and customization can be expensive. Return on investment may take too long to be profitable. Implementations have a risk of project failure. See also, SAP S/3, SAP NetWeaver, SOA, List of ERP software packages, SAP GUI, Secure Network Communications, Secure Socket Layer, Profitability Analysis, References. Gargia, VB 2005, a Euro Success and Failure Factors of Adopting SAP in ERP System Implementation, a Euro Unregistered Trademark, Business Process Management Journal, Volume 11, No. 5, pp 501, a Euro 516, Retrieve 212,010. In White Paper Review, Industry Week October 2009, a Euro ERP Best Practices, the SaaS Difference, Plex Systems, Retrieve 212,012. Malhotra, A. and Tempany, C. 2010, a Euro Critical Decisions for ERP Integration, Small Businesses Sways, a Euro Unregistered Trademark, International Journal of Information Management, Volume 30, Issue No. 1, pages 28 to Euro 37, 212,010, Science Direct. External links. Official SAP ERP site on sap.com, official SAP HCM site on sap.com, SAP ERP discussions, blogs, documents and videos on the SAP Community Network, sap-erp.com, sapstack.com, basic SAP tutorials, sapadminforum.com discussions, documents, itsati.com SAP Basis How To, Tips and Tutorial.